Every mother carries a secret. Not hidden in old letters, but folded quietly into small sacrifices no child ever notices. This is Ethan's story, and the quiet gifts his mother gave him, gifts he wouldn't understand until it was almost too late. It was autumn 1986. Leaves drifted past a small white house where breakfast was already sizzling on the stove. Ethan was 7, all elbows and energy, racing down the stairs 2 at a time, hungry for pancakes and cartoons. His mother stood at the stove, sliding the last warm pancake onto his plate, then quietly setting her own plate aside, untouched. "Aren't you eating, Mom?" Ethan asked, mouth already full. She smiled. "I already had mine, sweetheart. Eat up before it's cold." She hadn't eaten. She never did. Not until every plate at that table was full, a quiet habit no one ever questioned. That winter, Ethan came down with a fever that would not break, and Carol sat by his bed the entire night. By morning, her eyes were heavy, her back stiff from that wooden chair, but she was already downstairs packing his lunch. She never mentioned the sleep she lost. She never mentioned the ache in her shoulders. She simply kissed his forehead goodbye. Years passed. Ethan grew taller, louder, busier with friends and football, and Carol grew quieter, smaller in the background. There was a letter once tucked in a drawer, an acceptance to a design program in the city, dated the year Ethan was born. She never opened that door. She folded her own dream into a drawer, the same way she folded his laundry, carefully, without complaint. Ethan never saw that letter. He never knew what she had given up simply so his own life could stay steady and whole. Now Ethan is 31, living 2 states away, calling home only when he remembers, visiting only on holidays. This Thanksgiving, he came home early, suitcase in hand, expecting the same house, the same warmth, the same woman at the stove, but the kitchen was quiet. Carol sat by the window instead, thinner than he remembered, hands wrapped around a cup of tea. "You didn't have to cook today, Mom," Ethan said gently. She smiled the same smile from 30 years ago. "I just wanted to sit with you," she said softly, patting the seat beside her at the small kitchen table. Later that night, cleaning out a closet, Ethan found an old shoebox tucked far in the back, dusty and forgotten. Inside were old photographs, ticket stubs, and folded beneath them all, that unopened acceptance letter from years ago. He sat on the floor and read it slowly, understanding for the first time what she had quietly given up. He remembered the untouched breakfast plate. He remembered the sleepless nights by his bed. He remembered every small sacrifice. Ethan walked into the living room, sat beside his mother, and took her hand without saying a single word. "Thank you," he finally whispered, "for everything you never told me you gave up." Carol's eyes filled with tears. "I would do it all again," she said softly. "Every single time. Because loving you was never a sacrifice." That night, Ethan called his own reminders in his heart to never again let the years slip quietly by unnoticed. The next morning, he woke early, before her, and stood at the very same stove she once stood at. When Carol came down, she found her plate already filled, and for once, she was the one being cared for. "Sit down, Mom," Ethan said with a gentle smile. "Today, you don't have to give anything up." Somewhere, in every home across America, there is a mother quietly giving up her plate, her sleep, her dreams. And most of the time, she never asks for thanks. She never expects anything back at all. But children grow. And one day, they finally understand the weight of what was quietly carried for them. If your mother gave up her plate, her sleep, her dreams, without ever once asking for thanks, call her today. sit with her today and simply say the words, "Thank you, Mom." Because the sacrifices she never mentioned are the clearest proof of a love that never needed to be spoken. Whispers of Mama, stories of the love that raised us, even when we were too young to notice.